Tired of fighting crowds in Rome or paying sky-high prices in Paris? What if I told you there are countries in Europe where you can have an amazing vacation without breaking the bank or feeling like a sardine? These places are so good, you might just want to move there. Picture this: no more waiting in long lines at the Eiffel Tower or squeezing through crowds in Barcelona. Instead, imagine peaceful lakes, stunning castles, and charming towns all to yourself. These hidden gems offer a taste of Europe without the hassle. But here's the kicker: these spots aren't just great for a quick trip. They could be your next home. Think low costs of living, friendly locals, and a laid-back lifestyle. If you stick to the usual spots, you might miss out on life-changing experiences. Balkan beauties, Slovenia and Croatia. First stop on our Hidden Gems tour, Slovenia and Croatia. These Balkan beauties pack a punch that'll make you wonder why you ever bothered with the usual spots. Let's start with Slovenia. Picture Switzerland, but without the crowds and sky-high prices. That's Slovenia in a nutshell. Take Lake Bled, for example. It's got all the charm of those famous Swiss lakes, but you won't have to fight for a spot to snap a photo. And the best part: your wallet won't take a hit. But Slovenia is not just about pretty lakes. It's got mountains too. The Julian Alps are a hiker's dream. Imagine trails winding through lush forests and rocky peaks, without the tourist traffic jams you'd find in the French Alps. Now, let's hop over to Croatia. If you think the French Riviera is the only place for coastal charm, think again. Croatia's got beaches that'll make your jaw drop, minus the crowds and hefty price tags. Take Dubrovnik, for instance. It's like stepping into a medieval fairy tale, but with better Wi-Fi. The old town is so well preserved, you half expect to see knights roaming the streets. And unlike some other famous European cities, you can actually enjoy the views without someone's selfie stick in your face. But Croatia's not just about old towns. It's got islands too. Lots of them. The Dalmatian coast is perfect for island hopping. You can spend your days exploring hidden coves and swimming in crystal clear waters. It's like the Greek islands, but with fewer tourists and more affordable prices. Now let's talk money. Your euros will stretch a lot further in these countries than in Western Europe. In Slovenia, a nice meal out might cost you half of what you'd pay in Paris. And in Croatia, you can rent a beachfront apartment for the price of a tiny hotel room in Rome. But here's the real kicker: these countries aren't just cheap. They offer a high quality of life too. Clean air, low crime rates, and friendly locals who actually want to chat with you. It's no wonder more and more people are thinking about moving here. And if you're into outdoor activities, you're in for a treat. Slovenia's got everything from skiing in winter to whitewater rafting in summer. Croatia, meanwhile, is a paradise for sailing and diving. You can have all the adventure you want without breaking the bank. But wait, there's more. These countries have some hidden gems that even most tourists miss. In Slovenia, there's the Postojna Cave. It's like entering another world, with stunning rock formations and even a unique species of salamander that lives nowhere else on Earth. Over in Croatia, you've got the Plitvice Lakes National Park. Imagine a series of turquoise lakes connected by waterfalls, surrounded by lush forests. It's like something out of a fantasy movie, but it's real, and it's right there in Croatia. So, are you ready to discover Europe's best-kept secrets? Eastern European elegance, Czech Republic and Hungary. Think Eastern Europe is all gray and dull. Think again. Prague and Budapest are here to change your mind. These cities are bursting with color and life. Let's start with Prague. It's like a fairy tale come to life. The city is full of stunning buildings, from Gothic churches to Baroque palaces. And the best part, you can enjoy them without fighting through crowds. Now, let's talk about beer. The Czech Republic is famous for its brews. They say the beer here is even better than in Germany, and it's cheaper too. You can enjoy a high-quality pint for less than half the price you'd pay in Munich. Moving on to Hungary, let's dive into their thermal baths. You've probably heard of Iceland's Blue Lagoon. Well, Budapest has its own version, and it's just as good. The city is full of thermal baths where you can soak and relax. And unlike Iceland, you won't have to empty your wallet to enjoy them. Both countries are packed with history. Prague's old town square is like stepping back in time. The astronomical clock there is over 600 years old and still ticking. In Budapest, you can walk across the chain bridge, which has been standing since 1849. These cities rival places like Paris or Rome for beauty and history. But here's the kicker: you won't have to deal with massive crowds or sky-high prices. You can actually enjoy your visit without feeling like you're in a packed subway car. Let's talk about food. Czech cuisine might not be world famous, but it's hearty and delicious. Try some svikova, a beef dish with a creamy sauce. It's comfort food at its best, and in Hungary you can't miss the goulash. It's a rich stew that's perfect for cold days. Now, here's something that might surprise you. The Czech Republic isn't just about beer. They actually have some great wine regions too. Moravia, in the south of the country, produces some excellent wines. It's like a hidden Tuscany, but without the tourist buses. As for Hungary, did you know it has the largest lake in Central Europe? Lake Balaton is huge, and it's a favorite spot for locals to relax and swim. It's like having a beach holiday, but in the middle of Europe. Both countries offer great value for money. You can stay in nice hotels, eat out often, and enjoy plenty of activities without breaking the bank. It's no wonder more and more people are choosing to move here. The locals in both countries are friendly and welcoming. Many speak English, especially in the bigger cities, so you don't need to worry about communication problems. If you're into nightlife, both Prague and Budapest have you covered. From cozy pubs to trendy clubs, there's something for everyone. And the best part, you can party all night without emptying your wallet. Estonia and Latvia. Now, let's head north to the Baltics. Estonia and Latvia might not be the first places you think of for a European trip, but these countries are full of surprises. Estonia is like the tech whiz kid of Europe. It's one of the most digital countries in the world. You can do almost everything online here, from voting to starting a business. It's like living in the future, but with old world charm. Take Tallinn, Estonia's capital. The old town looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale. But here's the twist: it's got free Wi-Fi everywhere. Imagine walking down cobblestone streets, past medieval towers, all while streaming your favorite show. It's like Bruges, but with better internet. Latvia, on the other hand, is all about natural beauty. Ever heard of the Baltic Riviera? That's what they call Latvia's coast. Picture long, sandy beaches stretching for miles. The best part, you'll have plenty of space to yourself. No fighting for a spot to lay your towel here. Both countries are super affordable, especially if you're used to Western European prices. A nice meal out in Riga, Latvia's capital, might cost half of what you'd pay in Paris. And in Tallinn, you can stay in a cool apartment in the old town for the price of a boring hotel room in London. This makes Estonia and Latvia perfect for digital nomads and remote workers. You get a high quality of life without the high costs. Fast internet, cool cafes, and affordable living. What more could you want? But it's not all about work. These countries offer some unique experiences you won't find anywhere else. Ever tried bog walking? In Estonia, you can strap on some special shoes and walk across spongy wetlands. It's like walking on a giant waterbed. Weird? Yes. Fun? Absolutely. Latvia has its own hidden gems. Take Rundale Palace, for example. It's like a mini Versailles, but without the crowds. You can wander through beautiful gardens and ornate rooms, feeling like royalty for a day. The food in these countries is pretty interesting too. Estonia is big on foraged ingredients. You might find dishes with wild mushrooms or berries picked from the forest. In Latvia, try the black bread. It's dense, slightly sweet, and goes great with everything. Both countries have a strong sauna culture. It's not just about relaxing, it's a social thing too. Don't be surprised if you end up chatting with locals while sweating it out. It's a great way to make friends and learn about the culture. Nature lovers will feel right at home here. Estonia is covered in forests and has over 2,000 islands to explore. Latvia has its share of green spaces too, including Gauja National Park with its stunning river valley. The locals in both countries are friendly and most speak English, especially in the cities. This makes getting around and meeting people easy. You might even pick up a few words of Estonian or Latvian while you're there. Mediterranean marvels Portugal and Malta. Think Italy, Spain, and Greece are the only spots worth visiting in the Mediterranean. Think again. Portugal and Malta are here to shake things up. Let's start with Portugal. This country has a coastline that'll make your jaw drop. Forget the packed beaches of southern France or Spain. Portugal's got miles of sandy shores without the crowds. And if you're into surfing, you're in for a treat. The waves here are some of the best in Europe. Take Nazaré, for example. It's a small fishing town that's become famous for its giant waves. Pro surfers from all over the world come here to catch waves as tall as buildings. But don't worry if you're not a pro. There are plenty of calmer spots for beginners too. Now let's hop over to Malta. This tiny island nation packs a big punch when it comes to history and culture. It's got ancient temples that are even older than the pyramids in Egypt. And the best part, you can explore them without fighting through crowds of tourists. The capital city, Valletta, is like an open-air museum. It's full of old buildings and narrow streets. Walking around here feels like stepping back in time. But unlike some other old cities in Europe, it's not overrun with tourists. Now let's talk food. Both Portugal and Malta have some dishes that'll make your mouth water. In Portugal, try the bacalhau. It's a salt cod dish that they say can be cooked in 365 different ways, one for each day of the year. And don't miss the pastéis de nata. These little custard tarts are so good, you might want to bring a suitcase full home. Malta's got its own tasty treats too. Ever heard of pastéis? They're flaky pastries filled with ricotta or mushy peas. They're cheap, tasty, and perfect for a quick snack. And if you like rabbit, you're in luck. Stuffat talfenek, or rabbit stew, is a national dish here. But here's something you might not know about Portugal. It's not just about beaches and cities. The Douro Valley in the north is one of the oldest wine regions in the world. Picture rolling hills covered in vineyards, with the Douro River winding through. It's like Tuscany, but with fewer tourists and better port wine. As for Malta, it's got a secret hidden underwater. There are ancient ruins and shipwrecks just off the coast. You can go diving and see Roman artifacts or World War II planes. It's like visiting a museum, but with fish swimming around instead of other tourists. Both countries offer great value for money too. You can enjoy a nice meal out or stay in a good hotel without breaking the bank. And the locals in both places are known for being friendly and welcoming to visitors. We've seen some amazing places, from Slovenia's lakes to Portugal's beaches. These countries offer more than just nice views. They're full of surprises and great experiences. Think about it. You could vacation in these spots, sure, but why stop there? With low costs and high quality of life, they might be perfect for a longer stay, maybe even a new home. It's time to think outside the box. Skip the usual spots and try something new. You might find your next favorite place in one of these hidden gems. So what's holding you back? These countries are waiting to be explored. Who knows? Your next big adventure might be just around the corner in a place you never expected. Are you ready to rethink your travel plans? Or maybe even your life plans?